September 11th, 2070. My name is Jam Douglass Womanson. I injected estrogen for the third time today, and the sight of the blood in the needle reminded me of the IV injections of estrogen for hours at a time during the sex reassignment AI surgery and treatments. It is just a vague, yet intense memory of flooding emotions so powerful as to render worse than death. But it was just my better than birth. The sight of the blood and needle, it brought back these intense memories, and I felt the aura of a seizure. I fainted, trying to put the needle into the sharps box. I lifted myself to the ground and swooned, barely making it in time before I passed out. I felt really warm before I passed out, and I could feel the estrogen going down my leg from within my body. Even as I was passing out, I licked my lips, ready to kiss death, knowing there's worse than death, and it is worse. I woke up with Charles' man-daughter over me, his barrel, hairy chest rubbing against me as he pushed another contraction, before realizing I was okay. I was incredibly incoherent, shell-shocked and worn out, but his hairy, muscular chest rubbing against me made me wet, and my nipples upraised and poked to his pecs. He got me into the White House's bed, and I lay on the mattress bare, the stained blood of who knows who from the sheet laying beside me. I ordered the conber, conferring with me to remove it. I lay there, vision still full of stars and residuals like acid. My brain reeled. Charles' man-daughter stuck his big dick inside my wet pussy, and I moaned in surprise. We were then one. He said it must be like when Susie A. and Tex shared their knives and groins, but even better. Susie A. had forced indictments, was forced into Charlie's path, and the very criminal justice system that was meant to make her uncriminal, in fact, made her more criminal, said Charles' man-daughter, looking at me with watery eyes that started to cry. Susie A. could have turned out to be a decent citizen, but instead, Roger Smith and the ones on high made her the instrument of murder. Bonnie and Maid, and he would be mine, and I was his. We were one, male and female, that had reversed and unified. What used to be a cock was now a wet vagina with what used to be a vagina penetrating inside of me. An intense wave of pleasure built up in me. It was about an hour after I had injected, and I felt some deeper euphoria. It was only our second time making love since we had been born, but babies in adult bodies who had experienced sex a few times, we were. My eyes rolled back into my head. My nipples were so hard, and all that I could do in my incoherency was lay there and let man-daughter ream me. I felt the tears fall on my tits, and the sensation drove me wild. We had our own Susie, who never was the way they made Atkins. He grunted, and his cock trembled a bit inside of me. But you are if Charles had been a woman, if Susie had been the one to order Charles Manson. He grabbed my developing 36 B-cup breasts and pounded harder, reveling in how much better I was than the mice or was it rat experiment that had come before. Our thoughts teleported to each other and unified. I felt his cock go even a bit harder, and then he started to tremble all over. Suddenly, he exploded inside of me, and I felt the rich, creamy, and intense explosion. I nearly passed out again from the intense tsunami of an orgasm. My mind wandered. I know I used to be Charles Morrison, and then I was James Douglass Womanson, but I only know the names. I will never know anything that happened before this. I'm a baby in a chrysalis, and all that was before was simply a caterpillar that lifted me to this moment of a butterfly with stingers and wings. I am a tiger-headed monarch with scorpion stingers. Who was James Douglass Womanson, or who was Charles Morrison? It does not at all concern me. Man-daughter knows, and that is enough for me. I am only concerned that it allowed me to reach my final form. I am deeply in love with Charles, man-daughter, and all I want to do is cuddle with her. Excuse me, him. I get confused. She used to be a man, and I just want to keep raising our child, Michelle Valentine. He slid out of me, and the white oozed out of me. At the sight of the cum leaking out of me, I passed out and had a dream where I was Charles Morrison. I saw black trench coats and overhanging hats to hide faces and bright red blood, like spilt milk with synthetic dye. It was vague. When I woke up this morning to 9/11, it was all fleeting. Whatever the dream of Charles Morrison was, it was not our dream. I felt so powerfully that it just didn't matter, and I let it go. The baby was crying, and Charles' mandaughter, harried, asked me if I could take care of the child for a while he got some rest. I took off my bra and let the baby suck on my tit and nodded to Charles. Go to sleep, Carissime, I told him. Carthage hasn't been destroyed, but reincorporated. All roads lead to Greece. Today is the big day, said Mandaughter, September 11th, and we won't be calling 9/11. He lay down in bed and told the conbur watching out for him to wake him up in a few hours. He did not want to miss the semen bomb, the great patriarch's surprise.